Hi everybody, Matty here from BDC TV. Before we get down to business, just a little reminder to please check out all of our social media. You'll find all the links in the description below. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, that's BDC TV. We don't want you to miss any of the fabulous content that we've got coming your way. Anyway, on to business. I'm joined on the sofa today by the fantastic Mr. Nicko McBrain. Nicko, how you doing, mate?
Hi, Matty. Good, mate. How you been?
I'm very well. It's a pleasure to be on this sumptuous sofa with you.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here, mate.
Wow.
You know,
So how's
sunny
it going?
Manchester. It's been sunshine all day, so I'm happy.
Perfect. You can get any better. Yeah, sunny Manchester. You don't get the opportunity
Absolutely.
to say that very often. So.
Not at all. No, I can't remember I think the last time I was here was just pre the pandemic. So it's been a few years.
Yeah, well,
and I'm glad to be here. It's great to come up and see all the boys making these wonderful drums and say hello to everybody.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to have you. And thanks for taking the time out, because I know you've got a hectic time. You're in the middle of a tour.
Yes, we are. Yeah. It's a blessing to be out, still be doing what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And of course, I have this beautiful brand new BDC kit. It's actually an Icarus kit. It's instead of a legend, it's now because basically the difference is the inside of the shell's oak. There's various plies of oaks across the plies on the tom-toms and the bass drum. It's 25 ply bass drum, so it's real ultra thick, ultra heavy. And instead of having on the Icarus, it's a black oak, a fishtail oak finish. We've got an actual wrap on this drum set because we've got wonderful Eddie is strewn across all the drums. And the great thing is, on top of this, is that it's purely a Senjutsu drum set. Although the tour is called Future Past Tour, and it goes back to Somewhere Back in Time album. Lots of songs off of that. Well, I say lots, so there's a few off of that. And we're actually opening with Somewhere Back in Time. So it's a cracking album, cracking set. But I wanted to basically represent the Senjutsu album because hence the new tour was really supposed to be a Senjutsu tour.
Sure.
But on the last Legacy tour, we had the Senjutsu Realm and we did 3 songs off the album. So that kind of was represented on the last tour. But I said to the guys, I said, look, this drum set needs to represent the album. The rest of the stage set and the songs more for the future past part of it.
Sure.
So I said, well, I want Senjutsu Eddie emblazoned on all the drums in different poses. So it's the same head. The only 2 drums that are different are the 6-inch, which has the Buddha cross, the Buddha Christian cross on it. Dates back to the 15th century, from Japan. And then I've got the Jaguar cat. Looks like Eddie. Like when they Eddie-ized the Jaguar cat for me. So so every other drum has a Senjutsu Eddie on it. And the wraps, it's a different beast putting a wrap on a shell. I do like natural wood finish shells all the way through, but because we put artwork on each of the drums, they have to have a wrap.
Yeah, it's impossible to do without, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you could engrave it. We were actually thinking of doing that and marquetry, because Keith is a genius at marquetry. And boys and girls, if you don't know what that means, it means inlaid wood. So if you see wood art and there's different coloured woods, that's usually marquetry. So we were going to do that, but it would have taken so long to, put that image of Eddie together on each drum, so we nixed it. Right, just put it on a wrap, Nick.
and as far as the sound of the drums go, are you was it anything you wanted it to be?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's I'm using the Talisman snare, and we just spray painted it to sit in with black because a high gloss finish with the Senjutsu Eddies on each drum. And then we've got the copper chrome. Well, I say chrome. It's not chrome. It's copper finished hardware, which was every piece of the drum set was hand torched. Which poor old Keith was, what little hair he's got left, he was pulling that out. And all the guys in the factory, contributed to time, because it was so time consuming. And the thing is that it was a learning curve for Keith at first, and then he got really into knowing how far to keep the torch away from each of the pieces of hardware that he was working on. And every piece of hardware is different.
Yeah, of course.
It has a different color, a different texture. Now, not one piece is the same.
Yeah.
So it's a really unique piece of kit. Apparently, it possibly might turn green at some time because it's copper.
Yes. Yeah.
And so my drum tech, Charlie Charlesworth, he said to me the other night, he says, one of the stands is going green already. I went, great. Fantastic, bring it on. So like boys and girls, it will turn green sooner or later, but hopefully it'll be later.
Yeah,
because it's such a work of art right now. And it sounds. Sorry, I asked you a question.
No.
It sounds stunning.
Yeah. And
as I was saying, I'm using the Talisman snare drum, which is the British Steel seamless snare. I think it's 4 mil thick. And we just spray painted spray lacquered it, basically a black gloss. So, but the copper hardware against the black was just stunning.
Was the copper your idea?
Yeah,
was it?
So when we talked about the tour on the beginning of the Legacy of the Beast tour, we knew what we were going to do. As I said, I was thinking it was going to be purely a Senjutsu album tour, but as we had done, the Realm, as I said before, on the Legacy tour, Rod and Bruce and I sat, and he said, well, we're going to go Future Past. I said, well, I'd like to represent my drum kit. I want it to represent Eddie's armor. And if you look on the album artwork of the samurai sword Eddie, who's in that pose, if you look on his armor, you see all these different reds and hues of because the way they had their armor, it was, hand-hammered sheet metal or whatever, how they made their armor. And obviously it would weather. And I thought, I want to represent the drum set to look like Eddie's armor. And I thought, how are we going to do that? Well, if we make it copper, and I want the copper hardware on the drums, high black gloss, it'll look, and that's what I had in my mind. Sure. And when Keith showed me the pictures of the drum set, I went, that's exactly what I had in my mind. Yeah. I didn't know how they were going to do it, but when he came up with the blowtorching of the finish, it added those different colors, the hues of the red hues and the cream colors, and it's amazing how he actually came up with that. But that's the genius of Keith Keogh. Hence, that's where we're at today with BDC.
Do you know, that was going to be one of the things I was going to talk to you about. I mean, throughout your career, you've played great drum sets.
Yes.
There's no argument,
without a doubt.
But here we are today, British Drum Company. What sort of brought you here? What was the...
Well, basically, it was the marriage of Keith Keogh and myself and Craig Buckley when I was with Premier. Mm-hmm. Keith came in as a master drum builder for Premier, making the Elite series and all handmade British drums, and the One series and the Modern Classics and all those high-end drums that Premier were doing. I was with Premier for 22 years, until I left. Actually, I was 23 years, but 7 of those years, Keith was involved making my drums for me, and we just hit it off. And Craig Buckley came in and as a general manager, and the three of us were like the Three Musketeers, and we come up with this. We designed a drum set together, which was supposed to be introduced into the Premier catalogue, and that all fell about. It was just politically, things didn't work out with Premier and Keith and Craig and I. And as we know now, they're not making British drums anymore, which was one of the main reason I left. And Keith went off. He had a company called Keogh Percussion, which was very innovative stuff that he was making. But he wanted to go and make his own drums. So he said to me, look, I'm gonna form my own company. Would you come with me? And I said, well, I would, because I know the quality of your drum build, but you don't have any hardware. And I said, hardware is the key to making a great drum set. And that's my opinion today. It's not changed. I said, anyone can make a great drum shell. It's what holds it all together and what holds the drum together on the drum set. Or your traps, you know, your hardware. Well, okay, yeah, well, what happens when I've got great hardware? I said, well, when you get a hardware package, I might look at coming. But I went with Sonor. I went back with Sonor for 4 years. That didn't work out, afraid, for one reason or another. And it's to my advantage, really, that it didn't, because the BDC had got the casino hardware program. Alan Kitchen designed this incredible hardware. He's no longer with the company, but I take my hat to his uniqueness in terms of his design. And so that, with the introduction of the casino, apart from Palladium hardware was brilliant anyway, it goes on the drums. And I said to Keith, well, look, I'm having issues with Sonor. I'd like to come on board, and that's how it started. So for the last 5 years, I've been with BDC, and I'm happy to say the casino hardware program is going to have a relaunch very, very, very soon. And we've just got some teething problems because what happened when the pandemic, we all hear the same story, and it did affect us. It put us back by a couple of years. And as we had just got the production of the hardware together at the end of 2019, pandemic hit, because we launched this stuff in 2020 at the NAMM show, and we launched it on my Icarus kit, and it was quite a rush job, and there was still some teething problems with the snare drum stand and the hi-hat stand and things like that. And you get two chances. You have the original design, and included in the price, you can then go in, and the company that we had make the hardware will then, at no cost to us, do the changes that we required.
Sure.
And they just got lost over the period of the pandemic. But I'm happy to say it will be available very soon.
Yeah.
And I personally think that once we got that to me makes this brand complete.
Yeah.
This is my opinion. Everybody else might say, well, hey, look, I can put a Gibraltar stand or whatever on it. It doesn't matter to me, but to me it does. I want a British Drum Company stand because it's unique.
It's a valid point, and it's a valid opinion, and it's the whole package, isn't it?
Absolutely. And so, that's how I came in. Unquestionably, Keith Keogh is one of the most incredible innovators in drum manufacturing. He's, a lot of people talk about DW and John Good. Now, John Good's a very good friend of mine, and he's made some incredible innovative movements within, making a drum set out of a piece of wood that's 2 million years old, that sort of stuff, and that's what Keith's like. You go, oh, I've got this great idea. And the next thing, you come in, when I was at Premier, I'd come up and see him a week later, and he's got this new drum from an idea he had the week before. And it's like, when did you make that? Oh, well, I finished it off last night, 4:30 in the morning. That sort of thing. That's how passionate he is. Yeah. And I'm so grateful and blessed to be a part of this wonderful company. And, through all the woes and troubles that all companies go through, we're coming out the other end with this incredible program of the hardware's going to be available, as I said, and all kinds of stuff that he showed me today. And I'm like, oh, I like that. That's not a goer, And he says, oh, I thought that would have been a goer. It's not in my book,
But isn't that nice that, there's somebody of your caliber to shoot the ideas off?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, and I mean this respectfully, you're going to punish whatever he had on that stage. We're not talking some nice little light stuff.
Well, I'm not so sure that nowadays it's run to the hills. Anyway,
no, the brushes out.
No, I mean, again, I have to take me. Bless the good, thank God is just incredible. I have to thank him for being here at my, I'm 71 years old now, and still playing in one of Britain's, if not the world's top heavy metal band, and I'm still up there at the back every night. Well, not every night, couple of nights in a row, day off, that sort of routine, and still driving my band. And that's a blessing to me. But to be able to do it on such a beautiful drum set as well, it's just be involved with day-to-day kind of ideas of what Keith comes up with. This all stems back from the relationship with Premier. So kind of in a long-winded way, that's how it started. We had this great relationship, and Craig Buckley, I'm pleased to say, is now come in as our GM, and I persuaded him. It took a lot of doing, because he's my partner in Drum One as well. And we've got some great news coming up as well, which watch this, breaking news, boys and girls. In a few days or maybe a week's time, we've got some great news for everybody. And I'm very, very excited to be sitting here with you, Matt. It's great. And be like a spokesperson. Actually, I'm the international ambassador. You didn't know that?
Quite title, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I found out that a friend of mine is the international ambassador for marching drums. He's actually getting paid. I'm not. What's going on there? Anyway, bless his heart. Yeah.
Do you still get, right, you've just mentioned your age. Look, you mentioned.
Thank you.
Do you still get that same buzz about going on and doing it?
Oh, without a doubt.
It's never changed?
No, it's like, I don't know, when you're a kid, when you were passionate about drumming and drums, all things to do with drums, you go into a drum shop and you'd just be in awe. That's how I feel about new drum sets, about walking into the factory, about going into a drum shop in wherever. I visited ProPerk in Norway when we played up there. Forget the name of the city now. It wasn't Oslo, but we were in Norway, and I went and visited ProPerk, and it was just like walking out, a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
And I was, oh, look at that. Oh, there's a nice BDC kit over there. Oh, look at that. Oh, what's that Gretsch kit? It doesn't matter what brand it is. It's a drum set. And, I get this passion. I want to sit and beat the shit out of it. Oh, excuse me. And have a go,
Yes.
Whereas when I was growing up, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You couldn't go into a drum shop, or most drum shops were like, they were musical instrument stores, unless it was Drum City in Shaftesbury Avenue. And I bought a drum set in a shop called Top Gear in Denmark Street. I bought my Heyman kit there, and I was actually going to look for a Ringo set, and the Oyster Ripple one. And I went in the store, and I didn't even see the item, and I saw this George Heyman kit sitting at the end of the shop, and it was on a little 6-inch riser, and it had a light on it. This guy, genius. It wasn't a power can; it was just a light.
Yeah.
But it was like this, and I went straight out, and I said to the guy, "Oh, can I have a go at that kit?" And he went, "Yeah, all right." I said, "You got a pair of sticks?" He said, "I was 15, 16 years old." And he let me play this kit in the shop, and that was unheard of. You could not play, but they didn't encourage it.
Sure.
In the greater music shops. So now people go in and usually have a demo room, and you have a knock. But I get that same vibe. I get into a drum shop and walking in here and seeing all the guys, and then they took me in the packing department where all the drums are, and I'm like,
it's a sight to behold, isn't it?
What the heck is that finish? He's a genius. I mean, he's got 80 different woods he's used for different drums over these years. He's a magician when it comes to wood,
But it's a huge family here. That's what it feels like every time I come in, and it's great that you're part of it, and it's always a pleasure to see you. So I know you've got a million things to do today. So
no, I've got one other really big thing.
I'm going to get shouted at if we go on any longer, so I'm not risking that. But Nicko, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate.
Absolute pleasure to talk to you too, and see you again. It's been ages.
It has.
Yes, I know we had a chat COVID time, didn't we? And Keith reminded me. I actually had forgotten, to be honest with you. Right. That's the thing when you get to my age, you forget things like. What did I do yesterday? What did I do yesterday? Oh, I played a gig in Leeds.
Hey,
How could I didn't forget, honest.
good luck with the rest of the tour,
Cheers, mate. Yeah.
And yeah, hope it goes well for you. And hopefully we can do this next time, maybe a bit longer next time.
Absolutely.
When you haven't got a
Yeah.
tour on the go.
Oh, well, there is that, yeah.
So there we go.
But,
Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. Of course you enjoyed it. Why am I asking? I know you enjoyed it. So once again, check out all of our social media. You will find all the links in the description below. Thanks once again, Nicko. See you soon.
God bless everyone. Bye.